Basil from Google Cloud, regional sales manager, FSI at Google Cloud, with a strong background in technology sector. I think there's quite prominent person in the industry, so I'm really happy to have you today with us.
Thank you.
And I think you can give really good value to our audience today. We have Pavel with us. He's the CEO of Silk Agrotech, and at the same time he's part-time advisor at QIC. He's helping us to grow in direct business. He's ex-CEO of Mango Insurance. Basically, he's playing really pivotal role in our team to transform our consumer business here in Qatar and in the region as well. And we have, last but not the least, Prasad Ingradanti, Head of Transaction Banking at Commercial Bank of Qatar. Prasad possesses deep expertise in financial infrastructure, payment systems, and the evolving landscape of user behavior. So I think we will talk a lot about today with Prasad on customer journey, user experience in not only in banking, because banking basically in all products. So I think it's very nice setup of panelists today. So let's give a hand to our panelists. And let me introduce myself as well. My name is Alibek. I'm actually representing QIC Group, Senior VP Business Development. I'm also heading the Digital Hub, the small initiative that we started 3 years ago, which grew to the team of almost 200 people today, and building different types of offerings in the region, in Qatar and beyond. So thank you so much. Let's get started. So basically, the future of insurance. We want to discuss very, I think, intriguing subject today. We see that technology is evolving nowadays in all sectors, and I believe that insurance is not an exception, but there is some exceptions when it comes to regulations, when it comes to other things like overall, in my opinion, insurance is quite, in my opinion, again, because I'm a little bit biased, because I'm from the digital background, I would say insurance a little bit conservative, with a lot of challenges. But today, I think there is no insurance company in the region who is not talking about the transformation. And the first question that I wanted to address to Basil about overall landscape, how technology is evolving. What is your experience with insurance companies? How this transformation, specifically when it comes to the architecture, the background, infrastructure, especially from the cloud standpoint. So what is your point of view on that, please?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alibek and the esteemed panelists. So we've been working with the insurance companies for quite some time in the region and of course globally. But if you want to focus on the transformation here in Qatar, so insurance companies has been there for quite some time, and there's a lot of legacy, if I may say, applications, legacy infrastructure, where it made sense maybe a long time ago, where it is introducing technology, but there's a lot of manual work that is being done. So this is from the, I would say, infrastructure perspective, but also we look at the regulations. As you mentioned, FSI is a highly regulated industry, and the regulators themselves, they need to be also up to date with the technology in order to be able to issue the right regulations, make sure that it is secure, make sure that even the financial institutions are abiding by these rules, and to secure the industry and keep it transparent. The third pillar I would look at it is the talents. We've noticed that there's still, I mean, as we were discussing, there's still a gap in terms of the skill sets that are required. So overall, the infrastructure, I see it little bit staggering behind of what we see today, but there's a hope where today, I mean, Google Cloud is here in Qatar. We're investing not only in technology, but also we're investing in bringing the expertise. We're bringing in the people who can work with you to upskill the talents, to help you modernize and to help you explore new ways of addressing your business, addressing your customers' needs, at the same time your operational and reduce your operational cost. In the meantime, while you're staying secure and compliant with the regulations.
So there is a hope.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Speaking of the transformation, as I know, Pavel, you had a experience with Manga Insurance as a pure digital insurance company back in Russia. And just with, like, from your point of view, what is the right way of transformation of traditional insurers to become, in a way, to inject that kind of a startup blood, if you will, into the system, so that they can, think a little bit different, think as startups to become in the edge of insurtechs and traditional companies. So, what is your experience and how it should be?
Okay. So it's really a hard topic because insurance is about big numbers. So typically in each country you have 3 to 5 up to 10 companies concentrating insurance market, and it's big corporations. And especially in big corporations, and when you speak about the activity dealing with risks, it's very boring business. So you try not to risk yourself, just mitigate all the risks and only stick to some projects where you believe you have success. So it's like in corporate culture overall in big corporations, but speaking about insurance and financial services, it's much more common. And in this environment, it's very hard to try something new, try something risky, because if you fail, then you will get out, something like that, or you will not achieve the promotion and so on and so forth. But in startup culture, failure is really a way moving forward. So you need to try. You need to try. If you fail 2 times with the same thing, then you are just done. So but you need to try. You need to make failures, and this is the way how you can grow. And this is most of the problem speaking about culture. So it's very hard to apply such startup risky culture in a big steady corporation. Typically, they try to do something like special labs with special culture, or even make a separate entity, like for example it was in our case. But yeah, it's really hard, and with cases I see where there is some success, it's not about the whole client journey, it's about some part of it, so some sort of sales techniques, some sort of risk selection or claim settlement, so it's just some collaborations, but overall it's a very hard topic. And speaking about the difference between sales and interaction with the customer in the physical world and in the digital world, so insurance is actually very complicated financial product. So people don't understand really insurance. When you speak about terms and conditions in 30 pages or 40 pages, something like that, they cannot understand, and they are very afraid of taking wrong decisions. So, and basically, in insurance, trust is most important feature. And in physical world, trust is getting by person-in-person relations. So you trust your manager, and then you trust the decision of your manager, so which insurance to choose. But when we speak about digital interaction, there is no person in the computer, it's just you and the screen. And you need to find other way to get trust. So you need some sort of reviews, you need brand reputation, so the things that e-commerce actually do when they acting with their customers. I can speak about this topic a lot, but maybe let me pause for a bit.
Thank you so much. As I always say, the word insure tech is quite contradicting. 2 contradicting words combined in one word. So in one hand, traditional risk, I would say, where the risk is very important, where you cannot make failures, and at the same time you try to implement something from the culture of digital and tech, where failure is part of the journey. So, speaking of e-commerce, what Pavel said is e-commerce, customer experience overall, CGMs are quite important as in any e-commerce business. So, Prasad, just one question to you about your opinion on how you think that CGM in insurance companies should be from the digital in digital channels, specifically from maybe transactions and payment perspective, especially because we know that payment is usually the end of the funnel, and end of the funnel is the most important. Every single percentage makes big difference. So what's your point of view on that?
I think I'll try to cover on three elements. One is primarily how is from a legacy systems to the customer enhanced service deliveries. This is what has become more important over the years. For example, the front ends generally have been evolved over a period of time, multiple times. It's not, I have developed something today, it's tomorrow also it is valuable. No, it requires redoing something to cut down the number of steps and the way the experience is provided. The generations are changing. While the generations are demanding new things, we are supposed to deliver. I would like to go back from banking to insurance. Between banking and insurance, banking is the ultimate way of completing your journey, while insurance is part of it. But of course, without an insured banking, nobody does the banking also, because they are worried in terms of is the risk, how is the risk. Now, looking at from the perspective of a customer journey. A customer journey, for example, I'll go back to today, when a visitor comes to this country, he is supposed to have the mandatory insurance. How quickly you are able to complete this process? Very few steps, very few clicks. This is what a customer looks today, whether it is being banking or be it insurance. The question is in terms of how quickly, how transparently I am able to complete my journey. This is very important. How are we able to achieve it? We are able to achieve it through identifying, reducing the number of steps, reducing the unwanted, as he said, insurance has got 40 pages terms and conditions. Well, do you require all the 40 pages terms and conditions? Or can you say that, guys, these are 4, 5 which are very important. Rest of them are available, you can go and check on my QAC website. If you've got any problem, come back to me, I'll reverse the premium. So this is how the journey effectively is presented. Be the transaction of your making a payment, or looking at your statement, or looking at an insurance, subscribing to an insurance, or making a claim subsequently. Claim is another, it should not become a pathetic journey. It has to become as immediately, as quickly as you allow the premium to be paid or subscribe to the service, I suppose.
So removing the obstacles.
Absolutely.
Because the more steps, the more obstacles to the product, just to get the product, not to use it, just to get the product. So I think it's very important. Thank you so much. Very, very insightful. Pavel, I know that you went through the journey of transformation in one of the previous companies from legacy to, as we call it, there are different names, microservice architecture, middle layer, there are lots of names, whatever we call it, some kind of the layer between modern front end and legacy systems that was built for years, for decades. Even though I said that he was in pure digital insurance company, I think they also went through the journey from transforming the legacy to microservices. How it went?
Yes, it's interesting topic. Speaking about big insurance companies in Russia, they grow very strong from the point where you don't know anything about insurance to the stage where we are right now. And during the stage, they acquire the companies, acquire the IT systems, and typically bigger insurance in Russia, it's companies with millions of customers, but with a very complex zoo, let me call it this way, of different insurance backends. they that somehow dealing with each other, and they decide one of those systems to be like a storage of all the data. And it's very hard for them to migrate to new system because of a lot of customers being working already, and you need to process these customers each and every day. And also due to the a lot of interconnections between a lot of systems that is hard, to change the implement. So when we start our business, we consider the experience of the bigger brothers, but we thought that we can do it, in a good and proper way. We have in our team two different opinions. One of those was to use already boxed solution, let's call it this way. So we are looking for most modern insurance backup solution, but boxed one. And the other team of our IT guys said, no, we can do it ourselves, we can do it by just coding ourselves. But finally we decided to go with the box solution because it was too risky to start with your own system. It's, because the devil in details. It looks that insurance is very easy when you don't start to make changes, claims, and so on and so forth. So finally, with our board, we decided that we use the box system. We choose Guidewire, it's US, I think most developed solution for IT backend. And on the start, it was very good. We start our first product. It was like property insurance, apartments insurance, and houses for 4 months, something like that. So we construct the first product very fast and go online with the sales. But when we moving further with additional services, solutions, for example, we implement subscription services that client can choose to pay monthly and freeze its subscription or upgrade, downgrade the subscription. And this system was not ready to do this. So it's typical, yes, it's very good box, but it's for the classical insurance. And we start to get struggle, so we do it lower and lower than we expected. And also, you have always a problem with the box solution. From time to time, they get outdated. So when you buy it, it's like best in class, but after 4 years, it makes older. It's one point, and the second point, actually, it's not one system. It's 6 different modules, and you have developers who knows only one module, and they say, please prepare, the task, and we will do so. They do all the stuff in the older way of programming. So when you have complete task, you review it and you start to do it, and actually it takes a lot of time. And finally, we understand that if we want to be faster in the market, we need to make this core system ourselves, and we start to rebuild it block by block. So we start with the sales mode. So we construct our microservice system, and we start from service to service. So first of all, we construct the way how we sell policies, then how we can take money, the billing system. After that, we construct a module how to change products, so the product management module. And finally, we are making a claims module for that. So we're doing step by step. And finally, this Guidewire system was just a storage for the sake of the central bank operations.
The new core, was it on-prem or did you use a cloud?
Actually, yes. We from the start, from the scratch, we do 100% cloud-based infrastructure. So all the systems in both solution and the systems for central bank reporting was in cloud. Yes.
Good answer.
And we was first company in Russia who implements 100% cloud infrastructure. And it's, from the terms of scaling, yes, it's incredible. Yeah.
So how to do that? How to do that in a cost-efficient, I would say, energy-efficient and painless, because I say, usually the work pays from the work pain. How to do it without pain, because again, the more we go, we understand that it is something that needed today. So how to do that, Basil? Maybe you can help us to understand it today.
Sure. So I think the gentleman mentioned 2 points. First of all, failing in terms of a startup. So And also the gentleman mentioned that the customer journey and the customer demands, it's changing. This is not a unique pain, if I may say. And as you know, Google Cloud, we started as the data center of Google itself. We had our own pains. We had the pains of people mistyping, for example, their search inquiry. We had developers who wanted to change and meet the market demands fast. This is where we provided the tools. And cloud is mainly providing the tools and the capabilities for the developers, for the business, for even the end user to be able to achieve what they want in a fast manner, efficient manner, and cost-effective manner. So maybe in terms of, if I would say about the applications, there are ways to move from legacy to modernize, whether you buy something new and you just disregard the legacy, or you modernize, or you decide to, you know what, I will start to integrate and I will slowly move, because it's not only about the technology, as I said, it's also about the skill sets that you have. Do you have the people who will help you modernize? Do you have the right regulations even to help you move to a more scalable? One of the things that you said in terms of failing fast, if I want to test something, I don't want to buy and wait 5-6 weeks or 5-6 months nowadays to receive my infrastructure or my hardware. I don't want to pay the licenses up front. I don't want to pay the support. I just want to test this for 2-3 days and shut it down. This is where the pay-as-you-go and the economies of cloud plays a big role in terms of failing fast, if I may say. And the other thing is scalability. Okay, I've tested my use case. I've tested my scenario. How can I scale? How can I grow with it? I need to have the right plans, the right infrastructure to help me move and grow to the next level. What if there are, for example, God forbid, there is a spike in my demand for any reason in terms of insurance? You need to be there, when your customer needs you. You don't want to say that, oops, because of my demand, my server is down or my services is not available. So these are the things that you need to work on. And this is where having cloud services available and for people to leverage it and to build their systems gradually, because you need to work, as I said, on your skill sets with your team members to be able to move. One of the things that I believe we can start with is leveraging the intelligence that today, especially in AI, leverage the intelligence in terms of operational efficiency. No need for you to rebuild or reinvent the wheel. So in terms of maybe insurance products, you look at your stack. There are things that you might need to buy because of maybe I don't have the business expertise to build the full solution. I will learn from other people. But at the same time, there are certain API calls where, for example, I need to, in Qatar we have multiple nationalities and maybe language is a barrier. How can we eliminate this barrier? We're receiving circulations maybe in Arabic and English. What if someone is weak in both languages? I need to be able to translate it. This is where we inject intelligence into the operation to be able to, achieve more and achieve the operational excellence. So as I said, there's a journey, leverage the tools, which is compliant with the regulations.
So iterative approach, like test and learn.
Absolutely.
As we say, the more you test, the more you learn, the more you learn, the more you earn.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think we're almost finishing our panel. The last round of questions is, what is the piece of advice for insurers, and not only this way, in digital first world? How do you see the future, and what is your piece of advice to insurance companies?
Be agile, develop solutions such that they are transparent, people are able to see, and with few clicks they are able to subscribe to it. And make life easy subsequently in terms of inquiries, providing information on the tip of his fingers, not at your desk. At the same time, make payments wherever the payment is involved, the banking. Ensure that you have the best of the channels available from a banking partner. whether it is e-commerce, whether it is internet banking, whether it is through ATM, multiple options for the purpose of payment. And also have wonderful reconciliation systems in place so that you do not have issues in terms of resolving your premium collections or payments or client settlements. This is how I look at it. This all today it is feasible using AI, microservices, cloud, or whatever that you have got. The new technology provides opportunity for you to handle multitude of transactions. That is what is required today.
Thank you so much. Pardon?
I will not speak about AI because you can hear about everywhere in each and every industry. I want to stress maybe two points that is important from my view. First of this, insurance is a dependent service. So you don't want to buy insurance. Insurance is not sexy. Actually, you want to buy something or you want to rent something, you want to meet some, expectations, and it's part of it. It's part of your overall life. Let's call it this way. So first of all, you decide which car you want to choose, and this is only an option with the service you have in your car. The same is for home and for the rest. So I believe insurance will become more and more embedded in other services that's being sold to the customers. It's really customer needs. So I believe this channel will grow strongly, not only for insurance but also for financial services, and we already see these trends. This is first one, and the second one is not about insurance itself. So insurance is like you will receive compensation in bad situation, but consider it from the different way. You don't, as a customer, you don't want to be in this bad situation. You want this situation not to happen. And actually, it's the same with insurance work. They also don't want to have bad situation with you because they need to pay for that. So I believe that it will be more shift to risk prevention because it's also win-win strategy for both parties. So now with more data available and with more technologies, I believe that investing in risk prevention will be more efficient because you will pay less as claims, and also your customer will be happy because he will not healthy, his car will be unsafe and something like that. So I believe that we need to shift in this area as well, and we will see this shift. And speaking about so what to do to insurance, I think there is only one thing, just understand your customers and try to predict your customer needs. I can just give you one example from my existing business in agriculture. So farmers in Russia, they don't need blockchain because we have some projects where we say you can trade your grain with blockchain and stuff like that. No, farmers, they just need a safer provider. So they search, they don't want to make deals via internet and digital, but they want to search for a reliable partner. And that's why you need to build a business to help them to find a reliable partner, and that's it. And let them do their deals by default as they prefer for them. So you need to understand your customer needs and apply relevant technologies, not to try, just to push something and totally destroy that customers don't willing to take right now.
Yeah.
What is your piece of advice, Pastor?
So I think nowadays it's a customer-driven market where, as the gentleman mentioned, we need to leverage the data. So all what they've mentioned, it relies on the data. We need to use as much data as possible. So we need to have the platforms, and the data is available. The problem is that insurance companies and even financial institutions, they're not using and leveraging all the data available. I've received questions like, tell us what Google knows so we can, leverage it. I said, you know more about your customer more than Google, because insurance is there. A bank knows where I'm paying. I'm paying for a school tuition, I'm paying for a restaurant, they know even my life habits. All this information, if we build the right ecosystem. So to me, it's the data, building the right ecosystem where we can integrate all together, the bank, the insurtech, the fintech, the insurance company, they all work together in order for me to understand. Last but not least, once you have this maturity, you will be able to offer your customer the luxury of even customizing their insurance products. So, and of course, customers that do have insure a car that is like used for Uber or used for transportation, same as maybe a third luxury car that I have. So this is where the customization, even the lifestyle. So I need to say, let's say I am an athlete, or I don't work out, I smoke, whatever, and this is where I can even have my customized and my specific insurance product. So I do see the future moving towards this, and insurance companies, those who do not transform themselves into a digital first company, I don't think we'll be seeing them soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very insightful. To recap, I think it's quite simple takeaway from today. Listen to your customers. Try to cater all your technology, whatever products that you have, to their needs. And I think it's as simple as that. Yeah, I think complicated things are usually false, and very genius things are usually simple. So just customer.
Absolutely.
Focus on the customer, and then tailor your journey towards their needs. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.